Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Red Donkey Projections. My name is Lucas, and I have Eric here as always.
Hey guys.
And today we'll be taking a look at Joe Biden's chances and his path to getting 400 electoral votes. We'll be going through what states he needs to flip from our current predictions and what he can do to get there in his most realistic scenario. We'll be showing several scenarios and going through each one by one. And with that being said, let's get right into it. All right, so we got here our current 2020 election prediction. You can go check our channel to see our rationale for why we put each state as each state. This is disregarding margins. Yep, margins are not included here. We got to keep it plain and simple. I also added the green color here called flip states. Essentially, we'll be going through this episode showing what states from our current predictions he has to flip from our predictions in order to get over 400 electoral votes. Additionally, we got to say right now, this is highly unlikely. Is it feasible? Is it possible? Mm-hmm. Yes, it is possible. But
it's definitely more likely for Biden to happen than for Trump. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. But it's highly unlikely that it happens. But the opportunity is definitely out there. So let's get started with today's video. So right now we have Joe Biden at 334. That's what our current predictions have. What other states can he flip to get to the magic number of 400, which would be the biggest landslide in a very long time? What can he do? Texas. Huge state. We made a whole video on this one too.
Yep. You can go check it out if you want.
Swinging a lot to the left. We made a video about the polling, how Biden's actually leading the polls right now by, I believe, 0.5. Hillary Clinton never accomplished this before. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We do think Texas will probably go to Donald Trump this time around because a lot of counties are still very, very Republican. There are still a lot of those hardcore Republicans in Texas. Yep. However, the southern counties of Texas are a lot more Democratic, and if Joe Biden can increase that turnout there, that would look great for him because that would balance out the other smaller counties with the more Republican voters. So Texas, if he wants to get a 400, that's a must win for him. What other state can he flip?
Georgia.
Another state? Yep, Georgia. Another state that's swinging a lot to the left. I'll let Eric talk to you guys about Georgia.
Yep. So Georgia is kind of similar to Texas. Not the most similar, but it is following suit, swinging to the left. Right now, polling does show Donald Trump up by like a decimal, like 0.7, or like already a solid 1. But this is less likely than Texas, but it's really possible. They do have a fairly Democratic mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, who is not in support of Donald Trump. She is a Democrat. The killing of Rashard Brooks happened here, and people who support Black Lives Matter got enraged by this for a little bit. So if the African American people here turn out, which there is quite a population of, maybe Georgia can flip. It's not, once again, it's very unlikely. Right now we have Georgia as lean or tilt Republican. So if this happens, if Georgia can flip, that would be like 16 electoral votes is not that small. So that would help Joe Biden a lot.
It's a decent margin. Before recently, actually, Joe Biden was leading the polls here. However, as we mentioned in our Texas video, a lot of states Donald Trump is clawing back polling numbers in many states, with one of the biggest reasons being that this Black Lives Matter news isn't trending anymore. Therefore, Trump is gaining leads in some of these battleground states, some a little bit, a very little lead. But this was all expected. We did think that after everything kind of died down, that Trump would get back points and the states would narrow up. But everything still looks like right now that it will be a Joe Biden victory. Not in the state of Georgia. Georgia, we do project will go to President Trump, but taking Georgia would be tremendous for Joe Biden if he wants to get over 400 electoral votes.
Yep.
Now, another state, pretty unlikely now, the state of Ohio. Ohio, went to President Trump in 2016, but it did go
fairly,
to Barack Obama. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it actually went to Donald Trump, not in a very huge margin, but it was pretty comfortable, I would say. I think single digits, but it was like pretty high single digits. So like for Joe Biden to flip this, that would be insane for Joe Biden.
And I do think it is possible. Polling before recently did show Biden leading, but of course, we do see margins narrowing up. As we said with Georgia, not everything's like trending anymore. So Trump is clawing back some points. But something huge here is that former Governor John Kasich, a very, very popular governor, is going to speak at the DNC. He's widely expected to endorse Joe Biden for president. Hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's widely believed that he will be. So that might actually possibly swing some of those moderate Republican undecided voters to the Joe Biden column. And if he can get enough of those, that will look good for him. And also those white working class voters, a lot of them are in Ohio. In 2016, a lot of those voters went to Donald Trump. What am I saying? A lot of them went to Donald Trump in 2016, unexpectedly. A lot of people thought they were going to go to Hillary Clinton because they usually do traditionally vote Democratic. What Joe Biden needs to do is kind of get those voters back into his column, so he could win back the state of Ohio. And this applies not only to Ohio, but also the Blue Wall in general, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, those white working class voters. If Joe Biden can win those over, he does have a very good shot of winning this election. Now we're going to let's go to Iowa now.
For context, this is already over 400. Texas, Georgia, Ohio, that is over 400.
It is.
Iowa would be a huge bonus.
But genuinely, I don't think it's that much needed for an over 400 victory. I think this probably is one of the likeliest situations, maybe even carrying Maine second as well. But this is still pretty – I don't want to say it's the likeliest scenario for him to reach 400, but it is still very unlikely that it happens. Iowa. Decently Republican, actually, but it did go to Barack Obama and Joe Biden, and Barack Obama both times in 2008 and 2012, went to Donald Trump in 2016. That was kind of expected, and I think polling right now does support that as well. I believe polls show Trump up by 1.9 right now. Is that correct, Eric?
Yeah, somewhere there, 1.9, 1.7. It's somewhere in the 1 range.
This state actually went to Donald Trump in around 9 points, to the right of Texas. That's quite surprising considering how solid Texas used to be. So Iowa, yes, it's winnable, but it's very unlikely that it happens. And this combination in general is very unlikely that it happens as well. But it's very interesting to see that this is still very possible for Joe Biden to win. All right, well, this is the pathway that we do see Joe Biden taking for over 400 electoral votes. Another possibility is taking Maine's 2nd district. We do see that as being possible, but if he were to lose Iowa and carried Maine first, he would still get over 400 with Ohio, Georgia, and Texas, so we decided not to include it. But this is our final map here for over 400 electoral votes. Again, very, very unlikely, but it's definitely possible. So thank you all so much for watching this episode. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. If you like our content, please hit subscribe. We'll see you in our next episode tomorrow.
See ya.